You said you were worried about Trump's temperament, and at one point you actually called him hysterical. He's now going to be president of the United States. Has your opinion of him changed at all in the past week and a half since he won?
Well, Erin, first let me say, I have to take my hat off to him because he demonstrated an ability to read the mood of the American public that confounded all of the data crunchers, and I think you have to give him some credit for that. I also have to say, obviously I reacted to Donald Trump on the campaign trail, but since the election, I think he's demonstrated a more measured and more inclusive approach. It's still early, and obviously he hasn't even started in office yet, but at least I'm encouraged that what we're hearing seems to be sober, disciplined, and appropriate.
And obviously that's significant, and I know you say you'll see, but that's what you've seen so far. Obviously, one of the only ways we have to judge him right now are the choices, the picks that he's making for these crucial positions. And, you know, we just had this report on General Flynn, who, of course, as you know, has come under fire for some of the things he said, particularly about Muslims. And I just want to read again one tweet from General Flynn this year that got a lot of criticism. He said, "Fear of Muslims is, in all caps, rational. Please forward this to others. The truth fears no questions." And then he included a link to a video claiming Islamophobia was rational and that Islam wanted 80% of humanity enslaved or exterminated. Does that give you any pause?
Well, obviously, any statement that someone makes you have to consider, but I'm very reluctant to regard tweets as a real measure of what a person thinks. I don't think 140 characters is how you express a complicated set of thoughts.
Does Donald Trump have a responsibility to the Muslim community to say, we're going to govern differently, or we actually believe those things?
Well, I do think, as president, Donald Trump is going to have to address the Muslim community. And look, a major part of what we need to do in order to fight back on the ideology of terror is to enlist the community in helping us. And in fact, we've seen over time that most Muslims want to be helpful. They're losing their own sons and daughters to the terrorists. I was in Iraq and Afghanistan. I swore in permanent residents who came from the region who were fighting for the United States. So I hope the president will take the opportunity early on to make it clear that the vast majority of Muslims who are American citizens are loyal to America, and we ought to work together to root out those people who are trying to pervert the religion and pursue their own political and ideological ends.